Welcome into Poppin Off! I am Danny Otto. Joining with me for the second time, it's weird to say this, for the second time, is our good friend Wellie.
Wellie Jackson, how's it going, Danny?
Hell yeah, it's doing good. And our good friend, Pete, all the way out in LA!
There he is. It's so good, we can't hear shit you saying, Pete.
Yeah, we didn't understand any of that.
It's okay.
I got a P and a Q and a what?
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is why I have lots of stories about why we can't have nice things. We can't even have decent things. So, back to me.
Welcome to the show, Wellie.
What's up, Pete? I feel like you shaved for us today, man.
Yeah, you look a little bit better kept than normal.
Yeah. You must got a job interview.
Yeah, I got a haircut. What you guys don't see is like my face is actually like super different colors because I was burnt over the weekend. Like, yeah, I thought I was like resistant to the sun at this point, and I'm not.
Oh, you thought you was black?
Dude, I came out there and you were pink.
He was texting me too much. That's what he thought he was black.
Hey, I went out and visited Pete and he was pink. I even told him, I'm like, Pete, you're not tan, you're pink.
I don't tan, dude. I don't tan at all, really.
But it doesn't mean that you're just resistant. It just means you sunburn on top of sunburn now.
Yeah.
You're gonna be one of those weird guys where you can peel like the entire arm off, like of dead skin.
Just some Pete jerky.
Why is it salty?
He's burnt.
Speaking from myself.
Ew. Ew. So we have a lot to get to tonight.
Let's do it, man.
We have so much to get to. But I figure let's kick this off a little bit. How has everybody been? Well, you haven't been here for a while.
Right.
Actually, when you were here, you filled in for Pete.
Yeah.
We've never had a show where me, you, and Pete have been on the show together.
This is history right
I know,
here.
this is great. I'm very excited. So I want to tell everybody, so Wellie's going to be our guest co-host for this week. So not just today, but also Thursday. As you guys know, he's going to be filling in for Ashley. Ashley will be back, we promise. Shout out to Ashley.
Shout out to Ashley.
Let's give hashtag Ashley will be back. We'll get that going in the chat room. But Ashley, I promise we'll be back. But in the meantime, we're going to have a lot of really fun and cool guest co-hosts. And they'll be in for both episodes during the week and stuff like that. Ashley will be back for Comic-Con. Maybe Wellie will join us for some of Comic-Con too. I don't know.
Hey, listen, don't tease me with a good time. That sounds like fun, man. Let's do it.
Well, I know Pete will be in town, so
yeah.
You can actually like make fun of him in person.
Yeah. Oh.
You can see how pink he really is.
I'm good with Pete. I'm good with Pete as long as he don't show his feet.
We were talking about this last night.
Was that an unintentional rhyme?
No.
Well, he's just a lyrical genius. He can't help it.
I wish. I was listening to Cameron on the way here. I don't know.
Are you guys just making rap references because he's black? Because that's racist.
They're very racist. It's cool. It's cool, Pete. You know why? Because I got my Nikes on. It's all right, man. I got my Freedom Nikes on.
Burn the Nikes. No.
Yeah, I got them on.
I can't believe people were burning them while they were still wearing them. That was the part that I was like, this...
Ignorance is bliss, man.
It's not bliss. You're burning your feet and you go into the emergency room.
It also hurts, too.
Yeah. It hurts a lot.
Yeah. No, we said they're racist, not smart. We never said that, you know.
But
That's
anyway,
popping off, everyone.
Good night, everybody. No. So we were talking about this last night. What is up with feet? You guys started talking about feet, and I was like, we'll just bring this up tomorrow. I don't understand what the deal with feet. I have Fred Flintstone feet. I already have been gone on record to say that.
Hopefully, we will never find out.
Yeah, you will never see it. Don't worry about it.
All right, these are the rules with feet, man. Okay. See, women's feet, perfectly legal. There's nothing wrong.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Women put polish on them. They go get them done. It's great. They're there for showing. You know what I mean? But man feet should never go outside of any socks unless you're in the pool or in the water at the beach. Other than that, there's no reason for man feet to be displayed.
What about flip-flops?
You got to wear socks with flip-flops. Are you kidding me?
What?
Are you? Listen, Pete knows. I seen Pete with the socks and the flip-flops.
No, he's got slip-ons. Those aren't flip-flops. Flip-flops are that
with the
awkward
thong?
little thing that goes in between your big toe and your
Oh,
other toe.
you got to leave those in the store. Why would you even purchase those?
You walk to the laundry room.
No, nothing's supposed to go between your toes. That is penetration. Nothing should penetrate you. There's the little thong between your toes that is penetration. And they wear rainbow colors when you get penetrated.
No grown ass man should be wearing thong sandals at this point. Like unless
Exactly.
Can we call them thandles? Thong sandals
Than-
sounds weird. Thandles.
like Wellie's talking about the slip-ons. I got
Slip-ons,
corrected-
I'm fine with socks. I'll agree with you. I'm fine with socks. But if you have those ones with the little thingy,
You
then
should never own those. That's the problem. That the only excuse for that is these are my girlfriends. I just ran to the car real quick.
all right,
And
guys.
that's not really an excuse.
We'll continue this after we get back.
This
But,
is gonna get heated. Heated
Stay
up.
tuned,
Heated
guys.
debate.
We'll be back with more episodes or more of Poppin' Off. Stay tuned.
more episodes.
Chris was in my ear. 100 years.
Thanks. I think someone has a crush on you.
Okay, who?
Let's make a game of it. One of these is a lie. He's 6'4". He collects stuffed exotic birds. He spends his free time trying to save lives.
Are you talking about Kevin?
Yeah! He's a registered bone marrow donor. Last week he got a call. He might be a match.
He's so cute. Oh, he is.
You could be a life-saving match for a patient with blood cancer. Learn more at dkms.org.
There's only one place to listen to the best fantasy advice, and that's the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. By downloading the FNTSY Radio Network app, you'll be blessed with having the top fantasy experts right in your pocket. You'll get award-winning and entertaining programs like The Roto Experts, Let's Cock-a-Doodle Do It, Fantasy Best Friends Forever, Yo! Carton and Friends, Yeah, buddy, and so much more. You feel what I'm saying? Download the FNTSY Sports Radio Network app now and take the most trusted fantasy experts with you wherever you go.
It's never gonna happen.
Welcome back into Poppin' Off. I am Danny Otto. Joining
Wellie
with me
Jackson.
for a good time is Wellie Jackson
Yes,
and
sir.
our best friend Pete.
That's me. That's me. That is me.
Pete looked like his credit score went up. He shaved a little bit. Oh man, he trying to get an LA girl. I know. Oh, you see his hat, all blacks. That means Pete. This is a family show, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a family show.
Cannot use that joke.
For more jokes, you can check out Wellie's stand-up stuff.
Yeah, just go to welliejackson.com. I post all my shows, or you can just check out my Instagram. If they paying me enough that night or that week or whatever, I'll post where I'm gonna be. Other than that, I post it after.
Well, we'll get more. I got to ask you a bunch of questions. We'll get more on that. But I want to do this. I want to do the pop segment of the week
Let's do it.
really quick. So, Sean, can you give a quick zoom in?
Zoom in.
So it wouldn't be right of us to not acknowledge what today is.
Right.
Today is 9/11.
Yes, it is.
I actually lived in Washington D.C. during 9/11 and everything. And I remember like being in the classroom and they all of a sudden they wheeled in a TV on a cart and we just watched news and everyone
Wow.
freaked out because a lot of kids' parents like worked in the Pentagon and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like
I forgot they got
yeah,
into that.
kids
Right.
kids were freaking out. I mean, it was like chaos. Like we were still school, but it was like chaos. Like there's like kids in the corners crying.
He was in
like,
high school?
ninth grade.
Oh, yeah, all right, cool.
well,
cool.
high-
That counts.
yeah.
That counts.
But
Yeah, no, that was a crazy thing, man. I was in high school, and the way it was described, I was in science class, and the teacher goes, "A plane just hit the Twin Towers." I'm thinking a little
by accident, like a little-
recreational by accident thing, because he tried to teach after that. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa,
wow.
because I saw everybody else's face, and I was like, wow, this must be serious, because it was a few girls whose parents worked there. And then, then we started to look into it, because actually from my one of my classrooms in my high school, you could see the Twin Towers,
Oh wow.
but that day you couldn't. Like, it was just like when we found out about it, it was just too much smoke you couldn't see, and I
Yeah.
thought that was weird. Like that was as soon as it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a bunch of smoke, and it's like, what? They disappeared? No, like they didn't even fall yet, but we just couldn't. It wasn't visible because of the smoke.
Yeah.
And then as the day went on, more and more people, you switch classes and more people are affected. And it was like, wow, this is a big thing. This wasn't a mistake. You know what I mean? And one of my classes that day was social studies. And the teacher just swore he knew everything about what happened. I'm like, it just happened. Like, ain't no books out, and you ain't even watched the news yet.
I'm
Relax.
writing one right now.
Yeah, he was one of those guys.
Back then, in 2001, you realize that in 2001 you could not even go and like you had to go and dial up. Like if you were like, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah.
You had to wait like beep 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 beep, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll get on the internet eventually.
Right. If I'm lucky, especially that day.
Now, Pete, where were you in 2001?
Yeah, my dad's actually retired NYPD cop. My dad actually helped ground for a month afterwards.
Wow.
Your father did what? I'm sorry, afterwards? We couldn't hear you.
My dad worked at Ground Zero.
Oh, I had a friend that worked down there. Like, yeah, I was hanging out with the older crowd a little bit. But he didn't go right away. He was a firefighter. So
my dad drove up from PA.
Wow.
The day of.
Wow.
Your dad's a hero, Pete.
My dad ended up, dude, the weirdest thing is this. Like, if you can, like, believe in whatever you want to believe, my dad ended up, you couldn't get across.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't get on the bridge, even to get into Staten Island.
Yeah.
My dad ended up running into one of the old guys that he was training on the force when the year my dad was retiring. Mm-hmm. That was like a captain there now that was at the bridge. And my dad ended up running into him. And then my dad went in on like this police escort all the way through to Ground Zero with like a whole bunch of guys. Damn. And it was, yeah, man, like Ground Zero and stuff was crazy. Like that entire thing, my dad like kept the dust. Like you can go conspiracy theory all over the place. But like even now, those guys are all still battling for like health benefits and stuff like that.
Yeah, I believe
anyone. It's ridiculous.
Sad situation.
Yeah.
How's your dad doing? Is he all right?
Oh, he's just crazy. He's just old people crazy.
All right, but he's still alive.
He's still alive. He's battled with stuff too. Like that's the thing. A lot of these guys, like if you're ever like wanting to jump down the rabbit hole, a lot of the guys that like left that from working, even the kids and like businesses that were all downtown, like they all got some kind of health problem. And like if you look, there's an occurrence between all of them. I mean, New Yorkers know. Like New Yorkers straight up know that that they are suffering like health issues that are like, nah, that's not from us. That's not from anything there. No.
Yeah, the air was contaminated for a long time after that. A lot of people don't know that. The air was really bad down there. Like it wasn't just a that day thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, because that's the middle of the city pretty much. Like, there's colleges down in that area. There's a lot of stuff. So like the air quality was poor for a long time down there.
I just remember because like I said, I was in right outside of Washington D.C. I was in Northern Virginia, and I was in the classroom, and it was so surreal. It was almost like watching a movie type of thing.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Like it was like I had never been in New York, so yes, I knew of New York, and yes, I knew of the Twin Towers from movies and stuff like that. But like, it didn't seem like real, I guess, until I heard about the Pentagon, and then I'm like, holy.
Till it's close to home, right?
Yeah, because I was like, we drive past the Pentagon like a lot. Like, I've seen that in real life. Right. I hadn't seen the Twin Towers in real life before.
And the thing about the Twin Towers is, it's such a beautiful sight. Like, to see it in person, or even if you get like a great picture of it, it's so like beautiful. Like, there's nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can never rebuild that. That was a work of art.
I think that's why they didn't try to.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. So, you know what I mean? But so the thing with that was, it was so scary. Like, I grew up in Staten Island, so there was no cops. Like, my father said, he was joking around. He was like, you want to get rich? I was like, well, obviously. He was like, go ahead, go rob the bank. Ain't no cops out here to stop you. Like, it was no police. It was also no crime. For like a week, it was nothing. It was just cool. But like, that was weird, scary. The thing that was weird to me was like, it was a bunch of false alarms. Like on 9, like I was the only kid in school on 9/12. It was like me and 6 other kids.
My school was in session. My dad watches every episode. Wellie, say hi to my dad.
Hey, what's up, Pops? Why did you let him do this to his hair? Why?
Or my skin. Anyway, he asks me that every single time and every single day anyway, why I did this and all that. But anyway, my dad can I forgot what exactly I was saying. Oh, he can tell you how upset I was that every other school, every other school district, every other school had off the next day to kind of be with your family and to just kind of decompress and kind of react just as a family on what just happened.
Yeah, my mom wasn't having none of that.
But yeah, we were all in school. I was like, can I just stay home? Like, this is like really messed up. I was like, I don't even fully process what's happening, but can I just stay home? He's like, well, your school's having school, so you have to go.
Exactly. My mother would have wheeled my casket into school. She wasn't playing perfect. I had perfect attendance all the way up to college.
Oh, I definitely did not have perfect attendance. Yeah. My dad had to write one of those notes saying, because I missed so many days, he was like, I'm aware that he missed this many days. He can still graduate. Like, wow. I had to get one of those in 9th grade.
Yeah, my mom wasn't having it.
No.
The crazy thing is, I just want to get a little story about 9/12. They had this rumor that like there was a red car that supposedly had like some sort of terrorist in it, and they was driving around Staten Island and all of this. And I was in school during that. My mother knew that before I left the house. She was like, all right, cool, you got it.
Have a good day.
She used to say the safest place for you to be is in school. I was like, wow, there got to be some truth to that. Nowadays, that shit ain't true. Ooh,
yeah.
I ain't supposed to. Nowadays, that's not true, but back then it was.
What were you going to say, Pete?
I was like, not in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
But anyway, so tying this all back into the pop of the week, and I asked these guys, and we're not joking at all, and we're not trying to like take anything away from 9/11 or anything. I think it was a really cool thing for us to just kind of talk about like where we were and our experience and everything, because we were all in completely different places. I had and to this day I had no idea that Pete's dad actually went all the way from Pennsylvania to Ground Zero. Like that is a really interesting
Pete's
story.
not half of that type of person. He didn't have that in him.
but anyway, so going back to the pop of the week, I got the Statue of Liberty Freddy. This was made for one of the Comic-Cons. And it's a special edition. You can't get it anymore. It's only available through third parties at this point.
Better not say that out loud, Danny. Better not.
Most of the ones I bring in, you can't get anymore.
Oh, really? There's a guy downstairs that wants to talk to you about these things.
Well, I need protection walking to the subway today. But anyway, so I felt like this was the most kind of, I guess, patriotic Funko Pop that we kind of had. At least I had in stock. I kind of had a fight to get this one. It went up for sale during the Comic-Con exclusives and stuff like that. And I was really lucky to be able to nab this one. I know a lot of people in like the Funko groups that I follow, they were really excited to get this because a lot of them were from New York. Obviously, I'm part of some groups that are northern New Jersey and New York. But even people like on the West Coast or in the middle of the country, they were like, I love having something that's related to the Statue of Liberty, that's related to New York and stuff like that. So I think on a day like today, this is the one pop I would really wanted to display.
Oh yeah, that was a no-brainer, and it goes well with your hair, so that wasn't even a discussion.
So does my drink. But let's. I mean, it is 9/11. We wanted to make sure that we spoke about it a little bit, but let's get back to us talking crap about each other and
back to the show.
Yeah,
Sorry
back to the show. But we wanted to make sure we addressed it because 9/11. I mean, there's no forgetting it. We're never gonna forget it. It was something that kind of, it shocked everybody. Everybody that was here.
Yeah, I think everybody.
Not even here, but I mean, like, aware.
I think everybody was affected by it in one way or another. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who was like, oh, I was all right.
Yeah.
Hashtag never forget.
Exactly,
Right.
Sean. Thank you.
We're still affected. If you think about it, like before 9/11, every single movie too had all the things back in the day where you could run through the airport and get to like the plane and be like, I love you.
Yeah.
And like now you can't. You have to get a ticket. I'm sorry, we need to check you right now. So now if your loved one's beyond that, you're just like,
take your shoes off.
I'll call him.
Text.
Right.
My dad just texted me and said, you probably don't remember this, but right after the plane crashed into the Pentagon, I raced over to your school and picked you and your friends up to get everybody home. He said it was such a scary day, even for him.
Oh.
And he was supposed to be he was like I look to him to not be afraid, basically. And
You know, that's like a white people thing. My mother ain't do that. My father ain't care. It was like, whatever. You should be home in about an hour or two. Yeah, I stayed the full day.
If I remember correctly, I think my school was closing early, so they were like, they can stay here to normal time, but you should come get
in
them.
high school in Staten Island, that wasn't even no option. It was like, we're gonna be open tonight.
You had that. Danny's dad was rushing. Listen, my dad may have went, but my school, like, it's backwards white people, so they were all just like, what's the color of them? Like, that's all they were doing. Like, they were already getting guns out. So, like, I'm sitting there like, oh, man, what is happening right now? Yeah. So, let's put that in perspective.
That's crazy.
That town, to this day, dude, everyone has been affected, and everyone's still affected. Now this is getting, like, kind of meta. But, like, even to this day, there are still people that feel that way, even around a certain group, all because of that. My hometown, my Bumble in the middle of nowhere hometown included. God forbid I go back with a girl that's from the middle. They're gonna be like, "Excuse me, is he a husband of ISIS?"
Wow.
What I will say, and I think everybody who has a problem with somebody else of a different race or something like that, they should have to live in New York City for 6 months, because I feel like that takes away a lot of any kind of prejudice that you have, because you walk down the street and you see every single type of person ever, and you can either choose to say that guy's a nice guy, or you can choose to be that really strange person that's walking down the street and just mean mugs every single person.
Or you could drive in New York
and hate everyone.
Exactly. Everybody's racist when they get cut off. Everybody, you cut me off, you Chinese son of a... I get mad at black people when they cut me off, too.
I hate my own. That's it. I can't help it.
Right, yeah. You have an out-of-body experience.
No, but seriously, I think New York City is the greatest experience, is to be able to work and or live in New York. Because it's like, it really is. I mean, they say it, and it's so cliche at this point, the melting pot, but it really is.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of, any kind of reservation you would ever have, like, I feel like everyone should just say, like, you know how they always say, like, if you're rude to, like, servers and stuff like that, everyone should have to try to work in the food industry at least once?
I strongly disagree.
You disagree with that?
Yeah, I don't think there's any way I should ever be a server. I'm sorry. I'm not rude to them either.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're not rude to them, so shouldn't. You don't need to. You skip that stuff.
I just don't see the purpose of being rude to somebody who's touching my food, because I know how I would.
Well,
be.
you're smart.
Yeah. It's like,
but some
really?
people aren't that smart, and they should be forced to work in the food industry.
I would judge people just by the way they look. Like, he got a bullshit shirt on. I ain't giving him no honey mustard. Get out of here. He ain't gonna tip me much. You know what I mean? Let's be honest, man.
Well, I worked in food, and I worked in Walmart. And I think Walmart was worse than working in food, because they taught you that you had to, if you made eye contact with somebody, you had to smile.
Oh, wow.
And say, how can I help you? No matter what. So now
Is that living better or living worse,
It's
Danny?
still programmed in me. So if I'm walking down New York City, like, and I make eye contact with somebody, I will smile. No matter what. I have to. It's like programmed in me now.
You're such a sweetheart.
No matter what, I still have to smile. All right, guys, coming back after this, we get into some hashtag trending. We get into some Netflix and spill. Stay tuned. More Wellie after this.
Hashtag.
Are you new to Daily Fantasy? Are you a veteran? Either way, you can better your chances of winning money, and lots of it, by going to dailyroto.com. Multiple people have become millionaires thanks to the guys at Daily Roto. Why not take advice from the experts? You can become a millionaire too. Just go to dailyroto.com to rock daily fantasy sports.
At only 2 years old, Owen was diagnosed with aplastic anemia and urgently needed a bone marrow transplant to survive. Fortunately, an anonymous donor stepped up, and today Owen is a happy, healthy 5-year-old. Unfortunately, there are many other patients who still need a bone marrow transplant. 60% of them won't be lucky enough to get a second chance at life. You can change that. Join DKMS in the fight to delete blood cancer today. Register at dkms.org.
Welcome back into Poppin Off. I am Danny Otto. Joining with me is our good friend Wellie.
You know it.
And our best friend Pete.
Pete.
Do that again. Say that's me.
That's me.
There you go. It's my cousin Petey. There it is. So let's get into some Netflix and spill. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I put a lot of stuff on the rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were talking about a couple of things last night.
Mm-hmm.
Pete, are you signaling what you want me to talk about? I saw a little highlighter thing on here. Is that what you wanted me to go to first, or are you just clicking on it?
No, I'm just clicking.
Okay. How about this news? Holy crap, Rick and Morty won an Emmy. I had to be...
That's back. Willie's like, who were they?
Yeah, no, I don't know who they are, but shout out to them. They won an Emmy, man. That's cool.
Rick and Morty kind of inspired the artwork behind you.
Oh, that's them?
No, that's us. That's well, not you.
Oh, that's you.
That's yeah.
That's dope.
Our friend
so
actually
can't change it.
Yeah, actually, our friend called Badass Kids Entertainment. He's actually in the chat room right now. He made that for us.
That's dope.
He's
man.
really cool guy. Great with logos. If you guys ever need any kind of artwork or logos or stuff done, definitely contact him. He's on Twitter at Badass Kids Entertainment. Yeah, and he's in our chat room. So if anyone's in the chat room and needs something done logo-wise, definitely hit him up.
What's his name again?
Badass Kids Entertainment.
Badass Kids. That's cool.
He's very cool. But so Rick and Morty is an animated series,
right?
Done by Dan Harmon. You know Dan Harmon. He did Community. He's done a bunch of other actual shows. And Justin Roiland also.
You know I don't
co-create. But it's basically a cartoon that's made for adults.
All right, cool.
You get a whole bunch of there's a grandpa and a little kid. That's it. That's what it is.
It comes on. It comes on before the Eric Andre show.
Yeah.
On Adult Swim.
Oh, I got you. Eric Andre still got his show out there. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
Eric Andre and Hannibal.
I thought, all right, cool. Hannibal out there moving around. That's what I like to see, man. That's my man.
I just watched one of Hannibal's specials on Netflix. My roommates turned it on.
Hannibal's hilarious.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Where I saw, I think the first time I ever saw him was on Broad City.
Okay.
So
I just auditioned for that show, but that's another story.
Really?
Really. This week.
For the last season or
last week?
For the last season. They're filming the last ever season now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I should have cared. I went into that audition all right, whatever, let's do it. I never heard of the show. I wasn't going to go off there.
You've never heard of Broad City?
Nah.
It's such a good show.
It's on Comedy Central, but listen to the name, Broad City. The show's about girls. Okay, they not tuned in to see Wellie. So whatever.
I mean, Hannibal got pretty big off of that show. He had
he was big before that.
Well, he was, but he got more into the mainstream from that show.
Oh, really? That's dope.
Yeah, he got introduced to a lot of people from that show. That was the first time I ever saw him.
Oh, really?
That and the Eric Andre show. Those are the first two times I saw him.
I should have cared about that audition, man. I really.
You should just start running things through me. Be like, hey, Danny, do white people care about this show? And then just be like,
I knew white people had to care about it because it was on Comedy Central. I was like, yeah, this is one of those. It's cool, but I never heard of that show. I was just paying attention. And I was like, Broad City, yeah, this is about females.
I could have helped you. Just run things through me next time. Like, Daddy, Broad City, should I care? And I'll be like, yeah, care. And you can be like, this Marvel show, should I care? Nah, it's probably not going to be good.
Yeah, it's probably only going to go across seas, be a blockbuster.
Yeah, you know.
There we go. Take TV advice from Danny. Danny's actually a pimp agent. That's what people don't know.
Oh, really?
Danny gives a ton of advice. Yeah, Danny's celeb advice people include Jennifer Lawrence. He gave her all of her hits. Stan Lee. I don't know if you've ever heard of that little comic book guy, but Danny's behind him. Danny's behind all the greats. No, none of it.
Yeah, it's true.
No, I don't know. You'd be surprised who really knows people in this business.
Jennifer Lawrence, she hits me up all the time. She asks me like, "Hey, should I do this role?" I'm like,
He lying. Yeah.
That's where the line was. Pete said it over and over again, and then started mentioning the biggest Marvel guy ever. And That was fine. You believed that, but I say, oh yeah, she hits me
possible,
up.
Man. Anything is possible, Danny.
All right.
Proof is everything, Danny. Proof is everything.
Anything is possible. But yeah, back to Emmys.
Emmys. So I had to be told, number one from Wellie, that Emmys are actually two different shows.
Yeah, it's the Creative Arts Emmys, which is like I'm gonna say it's the week before. I don't know.
Is that what the daytime Emmys is, or is that
that's a whole?
So there's 3 Emmy shows.
That's like in March.
So you're telling me there's 3 Emmy shows?
Yeah, but like the daytime Emmys is separate. Like that's like another time of the year. But there's 2 different Emmys. It's like the Creative Arts Emmys and like the something Emmys, whatever. Pretty much, if you win a Creative Arts Emmy, that's when you go to the big show, and then you got the choice whether they're gonna air it or if not. Like all right, boom. Let me just tell y'all the story. Boom, I was on tour with Tracy Morgan. He was nominated for Emmy last year, right? Was it when he came back from the accident? I think that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was
on tour. He got nominated for hosting Saturday Night Live. Boom. If he would have won, he would have went to the big Emmy show and whatever.
The nighttime one, the one where everybody dresses up.
I mean, everybody still dress up for this one, for the Creative Arts Emmys. But the big Emmy show, it's like you win this, you go there. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. It's
Very cool.
For the exposure, like the presentation and all of that.
And that's the one coming up in a couple weeks.
Next week, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Primetime Emmys, and that's the one hosted by Michael Che and
shout out to Michael Che, Colin Jost, man. That's dope.
They're a really good duo for Weekend Update.
Yeah, they're friends in real life. That's why.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Their commercials for the Primetime Emmys, it's like they're like political slander commercials.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny. And Colin Jost is like, I approve this message. Yeah. But they were great. And listen, an Instagram to follow is definitely Michael Che's Instagram because it is hilarious.
He has no pictures, but he posts a lot of stories. Yeah.
The whole story making fun of Megan.
Mm-hmm.
Megan.
But so I didn't know anything about the Emmys. These 2 guys started schooling me on the Emmys.
I thought I was gonna get nominated, man. That's why I got to know about these things. Yeah.
What were you gonna get nominated for?
I wrote on The Last OG on TBS.
Really?
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
I was regular Degla up here, man. I'm somebody in the streets.
If there was some way to have voted for that, I would have voted for you.
The Emmys didn't give a shit about the show. It's like, no.
Was that on TV? What? No.
That network that Conan's on.
Yeah. Didn't get it.
Conan literally is the redheaded stepchild of late night shows.
Hey, be nice. Conan's a great guy, man. There will be no Conan slander while I'm up here.
That's what we should have done when I was in California. We should have gone to a Conan taping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pete's like, no, we'll get a tattoo instead.
Sounds like
we caught like every other syllable.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi's low, Pete.
I said sounds like a hoot.
Oh, I got you.
All right, so to the Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Pete, this is one of the stories that I thought you were going to be.
Back to them. Go them.
He's just going to leave it on you now. So leave it on him. I'm going to talk about this. So Pete, this is a story I put on the rundown strictly for you, just like I put Game of Thrones last week for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting this one on here for you. Kidding, the series just premiered, just started with Jim Carrey. Did you get a chance to read about how it was making, or what'd you think? Did you get to watch it yet?
I didn't get to finish the episode yet. But the thing that I got about it that I really liked about it is, not to give any spoilers away, but we talked about, he was going through some major life changes. It was more focused about dealing with grief, the idea of grief, than his character being too much of this existential, eternal sunshine of the spotless mind type Truman Show character. It's genuinely about dealing with grief, and the guy just has a lot on his plate. So it was a lot more relatable to people that have ever had getting not too deep or meta, but like anyone that ever lost anyone. It was so much more relatable than I thought. I thought it was going to be very existential and it was going to be like real weird Jim Carrey, but it's not. It's Jim Carrey still is that kind of off-putting, like funny guy, and he helps you. He really helps carry the story, but it's so much dealing with the actual form of grief and like it's like a therapy session. It really is like watching a man that needs to go through a therapy session.
That's really cool. I mean, I was interested to see it already, but now I'm kind of I'm more intrigued to see it. Wellie, have you heard of Getting?
He was like, "Have you even heard of this? Do you have Netflix subscription?"
No, but like none of my roommates had heard about it, and I don't. It's not on Netflix. I think it's Showtime, right, Pete?
Oh, it's on Showtime. I should check it out. I got Netflix too, but
yeah, I don't have Showtime. But my roommates had it, and so I was bringing it up to them. I was like, "Hey, did you hear about that Jim Carrey, the new Jim Carrey?" Like hoping that they would want to put it on, and be like, "Yeah, I didn't know it started this week. Let's go. Let's watch it." Because I don't pay for the streaming service.
That's so good.
But I was hitting them up about it, and they were like, I didn't even know that Jim Carrey was doing a series.
Yeah, I don't think they promoted it prior. Like, you know how most shows they promoted prior, but I did see him doing press about it. So, you know, everybody's method to promote stuff is different nowadays.
I don't see a lot of Showtime stuff doesn't really have good, decent press. I feel like. I don't know if it's just because like they're like, we're Showtime. We have a built-in audience as it is. Like they're paying to watch us.
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just an awkward way of doing things. Like, you know, the traditional method of promoting the show has changed. I think they just they got their own little formula over there.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, you could do the typical late night shows. You could buy advertisements.
Well, Jim Carrey's definitely done all the late night shows. He was he ran that circuit for sure.
Yeah, but like prior, but now.
Yeah.
Like now it's out, so he's promoting it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to promoting it like a month ahead.
They danced around a little bit. Like Showtime's promotions aren't as heavy as like HBO.
Right.
Or anything like that. But like LA, like there was Jim Carrey was on every other billboard.
I saw him on one of the things walking through, not Times Square, but just walking on 8th, like around Port Authority.
Right.
Like one of those giant wraparound screens. I know I was seeing like the Kidding, like logo and stuff.
I wish I could say I saw it. I didn't even know about it until he did the interview about the Freedom Nikes.
Yeah.
Well, I forget what show that was.
You threw him up.
What you say?
I got my Freedom Nikes on.
Yeah, I got mine on too. I ain't want to break them out yet. I had to fill Danny out for a minute. I know he was like, "Hey man, get your feet off the desk, man."
You can. I mean, if you want to, if that's comfortable for you, you can get up on the desk.
Don't do that, Dan. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna do it. Y'all gonna like, oh wow, he really got them on. This is Adidas really studio.
Oh no, I have plenty of Nike and Hurley. Hurley's owned by Nike also.
Yeah.
Hurley, all my surf stuff is Hurley. So.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah. I'm doubly covered.
Baby crying. What was that?
What you said?
What was that sound effect? I thought I heard baby crying on the sound.
I think that was Sean. I don't even think that was a sound effect. I think that was Sean.
Scuba Steve, what are you doing?
All right. We do have a ton to get to. I'm not just saying that to fill out the bingo cards or anything like that. Come back after this. We'll do hashtag trending. We'll get into some more Wellie questions that I have. Stand by!
Marcus Cato is a baseball-loving 20-year-old Californian. In May, he was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. Marcus now needs a bone marrow transplant from an unrelated donor to survive. The National Bone Marrow Registry is made up of only 7% African Americans, which means Marcus, who is biracial, faces a unique challenge to find a match. Text INVOLVE to 50555 to join DKMS in the fight to help Marcus and others get a second chance at life.
It's Poppin' Off.
Are you guys just making rap references because he's black? Because that's racist.
They're very racist. It's cool, Pete. You know why? Because I got my Nikes on. It's all right, man. I got my Freedom Nikes on.
I can't believe people were burning them while they were still wearing them. That was the part that I was like, this...
Ignorance is bliss, man.
It's not bliss. You're burning your feet and you go into the emergency room.
It also hurts, too.
Yeah.
We said they're racist, not smart. I never said that.
Watch live on the FNTSY YouTube stream.
back into Poppin' Off. Joining with me is our good friend Wellie.
Wellie Jackson, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen?
And our best friend Pete. Hey, look, you got your own thingy.
Oh, yeah, they got me out there. That's my Twitter.
Yeah, we're going to make the Pete one come up now. Then, now. Hey, hashtag shut up Pete. Can I get a hashtag shut up Pete from the chat room? Everybody in the chat, give us a hashtag shut up Pete.
I think his Wi-Fi's down. We really can't hear him. That's why.
I know.
No, you are talking. We can't hear it.
Anyway.
Go to what's trending.
All
yeah,
right,
trending stuff. All right, so I want to bring this up because this is one of the bigger video game stories besides Destiny Forsaken, which my roommate and I have been playing nonstop since it came out.
Okay.
And there was a whole mess around that, but I'll bring that up later. But what I wanted to get into was something that I'm depressed about that I can't play because I don't have PlayStation.
Oh man.
I Xbox One. I went with Xbox.
Okay, all right, you went that route.
Yeah, I had to. I don't have enough money to get both systems. I went with Xbox.
No, you don't need to get both systems. You don't need to get both.
But I don't know if Spider-Man's ever going to come out. So Spider-Man the video game got released this past week. From everything that I've heard, it's incredible. It's awesome. It has ties to Spider-Man Homecoming. It has ties to like older stuff. Mm-hmm. It's got like a couple little Easter eggs from the original Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire in it. Like it's got pretty much everything.
Right.
As far as I've heard, it's got a lot of stuff from the comics, like a lot of enemies that are actually from comics, not just from like the cartoons and the TV show and the movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. But did you get a chance to play it yet?
No, I haven't played it. No.
Oh, okay, Pete, you didn't? Did you play it?
No, I have Xbox, but I know a bunch of people that got it first day and they love it. Like I watched some of the Twitch on Spider-Man. Visually, that game is stunning.
I know it's ridiculous.
New York City, it is ridiculous. Going to the high, it looks like Stark Tower that they're climbing up. But like jumping off of it, like just the sights alone, amazing. Gameplay I see is like really good. I just know like the biggest thing that everyone's talking about though is the storyline, and like Marvel fans are digging it because it's bringing back some nostalgic stuff. But it's beatable real quick.
I heard that. I did hear that. Actually, Johnny Rico in the chat, shout out to Johnny Rico, he actually said he's playing Spider-Man while he's listening/watching us right now.
That's dope. He's the GOAT.
He's multitasking.
He's the GOAT.
Better than all of us. But anybody else in the chat, let us know. Are you playing the new Spider-Man video game? What do you think? Johnny Rico, what do you think of it so far? We'll read your answer later. But yeah, everything I've heard has been great for it. And the only thing I can hope is maybe a year, 2 years from now, it's one of those games that they'll be like, all right, we'll give it to Xbox. Like, sometimes that happens.
Wishful thinking.
Every once in a while, that happens. Like somebody gets a little greedy, and they're like, all right, you know what? We'll drop it. We won't just be an exclusive anymore. We'll give it to somebody else.
A little staggered release, okay.
I'm hoping. Hey, even if it's like a year and a half, 2 years from now, like I'll be happy. I'll get it.
I'll get over it. that quick. Like,
but you can buy it. You can go out and buy it. You're a PlayStation guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm a PlayStation.
You can go out and buy it today.
Yeah.
Right after the show.
I'm still stuck on Madden.
Yeah, you and
Pete knows.
Yeah,
man.
you and Pete. Like I'll tell this story. So I didn't sleep. We did a show. Mm-hmm. Then I went. It was my birthday show here. We did a 2-hour show. Had drinks. Went home and just packed. Had a meal. Went to the airport. Didn't sleep on the flight because I was like all hopped up because I had an energy drink and stuff like that. Didn't sleep on the plane. Pete picked me up. He was like, "Do you want to take a nap?" I was like, "No." So we went out and hung out all day. And then we ate a bunch of hot wings, drank, and then we were trying to play video games, and I just went. And I woke up, and he's playing Madden. I woke up to him playing Madden. He's like, "You passed out. I didn't have anything better. I was just going to play Madden."
Yeah, he passed out. I didn't have anything to do. So put down. Wellie knows about Madden. It's addicting.
Yeah, you can't put that down. That's hard.
I never got into like sports games. I never
sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry, man. I can't even tell you that it's gonna happen later on in life. It may never happen.
But I mean, I love like Halo and Destiny, and give me a first-person shooter, I'm in.
Unfortunately, That's well. See, the thing with sports games, it's like these guys are really on these teams. Like this is real life, kind of. So you know what I mean.
Hey, Danny, I don't mean to interject, but there's not going to be a good chance of the Spider-Man game coming to Xbox. Sony themselves actually published the game.
Damn you, Scuba Steve.
Oh, so it's done. That's not happening, brother.
Hey. So, people said that Sony's Spider-Man would never go into the MCU, and that happened too. Sean, I still have faith.
I don't think there's going to be a high chance. It's not impossible, but
Sean,
I don't
let me
see
have
it
this.
happening.
Just let me have this, Sean.
You did have a question, Danny, that you wanted to ask all of us, and I do really want to hear Scuba Steve's 2 cents on this one too. So ask away on in regards to the superhero.
What was my question? Okay. I know what the question was. So this is what I want to hear. I want to hear from the population chat. I want to hear it from Wellie. I want to hear it from Pete, and I'll give my answer too. There was an article that came out that said, with the success of the Spider-Man game, because, I mean, it was an instant success. It's already, even if they stopped selling it now, it would still be a success. What superhero should get the next video game?
Are you on first? I'm going with Black Panther.
Now, that would be a badass game.
Because I was already Spider-Man at one point in my life. You ain't know? Yeah, I was.
I know this story, too.
Yeah.
We'll circle back around to that story, but I want to get Pete's answer quick first.
Oh, I think a Black Panther game to the tune of Spider-Man would be cool, like especially in Wakanda, and then being able to do that. But I think with everything, Iron Man.
I'm gonna steal that so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Iron Man just for the sole fact of you can mess with all of the suits, and the same with that seemed to be the big driving factor with Spider-Man. And you're welcome.
I hate you so much. This is why I can't have nice things. I put that on the rundown. I think Iron Man would be a great video game. I mean, just to be counter, I'll put, I think Captain America game would be great because it could be one of those time travel games where it starts off and the storyline is like kind of follows the movies where the storyline starts in the past and you become Captain America and you have to learn all of your powers. Like you have super speed and you have super strength and you have to learn all of them and gain access to be able to use them and stuff like that.
You can go with that. I think Marvel. I think Guardians of the Galaxy would be.
That'd be a great game. You can make it in the vein of like Halo or Destiny or something where you travel around to different worlds and stuff. What do you guys think? What superhero should get their next video game? We are gonna get to that Wellie Spider-Man story. Coming back after this, we're gonna wrap everything up. We'll get that Wellie story, and we'll say goodnight, and we'll come back on Thursday. Stay tuned. We're popping off.
There's too much distance separating you and I.
Like a great pass rusher, the Roto Experts will help you sack your fantasy football competition. When you register for their exclusive Edge fantasy package, you get a cheat sheet generator plus a player database with sortable projections and rankings from the best in the business. And you can join the fantasy conversation in the 24/7 Slack chat channel. Visit rotoexperts.com to register for the exclusive Edge fantasy package and enter the promo code FNTSY and you get a 10% discount. That's the rotoexperts.com exclusive Edge fantasy football package, promo code FNTSY. It's popping off.
I don't understand what the deal with feet. I have Fred Flintstone feet.
These are the rules with feet, man.
Okay.
See, women's feet, perfectly legal. There's nothing wrong.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Women put polish on them. They go get them done. It's great. They're for showing. You know what I mean? But man feet should never go outside of any socks unless you're in the pool or in the water at the beach. Other than that, there's no reason for man feet to be displayed.
Watch live on the FNTSY YouTube stream.
Welcome back into Poppin' Up. What the heck is that?
Oh, that was the video game. See, that's the NBA game.
My name is Danny Otto. Joining with me is Wellie Jackson.
Yes, sir.
And our best friend Pete. What is that? How Wellie can you do?
That's creative. I like that. I like that. That's creative.
All right, so I just want to read this really quick. We got some submissions from the population.
Okay.
Strong Style's going with Wolverine. A Wolverine video game would be pretty cool. You start with him getting it, and you have to like figure out how to use your powers and like fight out of the base.
So he starts off as Logan?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I like that. Chili Billy said Deadpool. Chili Billy, Deadpool has a game. It's available. It was on Xbox 360. I bought it. And it's available. You can download it and pay for it on Xbox One also. It was a great game. I loved it. I probably going to end up buying it again for my Xbox One. That was great. Johnny Rico says Fantastic Four. I don't know if there was one already, but...
There was a Fantastic Four video game on the original PlayStation.
That's what I thought.
It was not that good, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Let's see. What else? Chili Billy said Suicide Squad. Lol.
Yeah, no. Taking each character and walking off a bridge. Walking in a trap. Every single character. I would do it repeatedly with Harley Quinn. I would just be like, listen, I would just watch the ass of Margot Robbie's character as it got hit by a car every time. Moving on.
Lance Davis said Spawn. Spawn would be a cool game. And it could come out, like, they're making a remake, so they could tie it into the remake. That'd be a pretty cool.
Jamie Foxx is going to kill it as Spawn, so I'm going to wait until after he crushes that for that game to come out.
So before we run out of time, Wellie's got a Spider-Man story that I want to hear and then we'll tie everything in a nice bow. We'll go away. We'll come back on Thursday, and we'll be all back together.
Oh, so y'all gonna end it off with me?
Yeah, we're ending it on you, on your Spider-Man story. It better be good. This is your closer. This is the closer. No pressure. This is the closer.
Cool. Listen, my disclaimer is this story is not that exciting, but then he insists that I tell it. All right, cool.
I thought it was funny last night.
So here's what happened, man. I was at a celebrity's birthday party, right, which was in the backyard of their house, and I got bit by a spider. Now I'm thinking, I'm from New York City. I don't know nothing about spiders, right? So I'm thinking spider, mosquito, same thing. It just, the bite didn't itch. It hurt, you know what I mean, instead, but it looked the same. It's all right, whatever. That night, I noticed this bite was starting to get bigger. So I'm like, whatever. It's like a mosquito. You'll be all right. You know what I mean? Whatever. Long story short, my leg kept swelling up. Like every 6 hours, it would double in size. So like 3 days later, I'm like,
I like it's doubling in size every 6 hours. 3 days later, is when you know what? I got a little concerned.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, because you know when something swells up, you put ice on it, right? Yeah. This wasn't working. So I went to the doctor, and the lady's like, 80% of your leg, sir, is infected. You need to go to the hospital. Only thing that came in my head was my phone on 4%. I ain't going to no hospital. What you talking about? So she was like, you either agree right now to go to the hospital or I have to call the ambulance. And I was like, ooh, 4% or the emergency room. You know what I mean? I was like, I think I'm going home to plug my phone up. My leg will be all right. So I paused when she said that. And she was like, I got to call the ambulance. I was like, nah, my car's right outside. I could charge my phone on the way. It ain't that serious. I just went to the hospital, and they kept me. So whatever. I'm telling, like, every nurse, doctor, everybody I come across is like, tell me what happened to your leg. Tell me. I'm like, I'm sure y'all talk, right? So I'm telling them, like, nah, I got bit by a spider, blah, 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 blah. And they like, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. And I'm not catching on to it. I'm like, my leg is huge. Like, you know what I mean? And 3 days later, I realized that's how he became Spider-Man, because he got bit by a spider. I really had no clue. No clue. They're doing all these tests on me. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Like, just get me out of here. I got a towel on my head. I didn't want nobody to see my face. You know, because I'm a big deal in Staten Island. And I didn't want TMZ to get a hold of those pictures of me in the hospital. But yeah, it took 3 days for me to realize why they were calling me Spider-Man. And it was everybody, the janitors. I was like, haha, what you call me Spider-Man for? You need to stay in school. That's why you here with me. You know what I mean? You cleaning up the hospital. Look at you. Yeah.
And that was Wellie's first time being introduced to a Marvel character.
No. But moral of the story was, pay attention to the jokes that people tell.
Stay in school
about you. Yeah. And the funny thing is about me being in the hospital was the nurses kept telling me you need to get up and walk around. I was like, all right, cool. So they never told me where I could go. So I used to get in my car, go home, come back to get my medicine. And they were like, oh, you must have had a good day walking around on your leg. I'm like, yeah, you only saw me once today, huh? Yeah, little did you know, I went home, got a car wash, did some food shopping, all of that.
How did you leave the did you leave in the gown or did you just get dressed or?
I ain't no gown, man. I'm a celebrity. I had on my clothes. I had on shorts. Like I wasn't buying into that hospital life. They wasn't giving me no food. I get my own food. I wasn't putting that gown on. Nah, people go in those rooms to die. I was not going. Nah. I told them the rules was only way I'm going upstairs to the rooms is if I don't have no roommate. And that was cool for the first day. The second day, they was like, you getting a roommate. I was like, yo, if somebody dies next to me, I'm never coming back.
I mean,
as in, hobbling around on one leg with a spider bite.
And I'm
in the hospital. Don't worry. No, do you know who I am? And they'd be like, what? I'm last OG. And then it's some white Russian nurse because I know Staten Island. And she's like, the last OG. What's an OG?
Yeah. It was pretty much that. Yeah. And like this was when they were still shopping. We were still shopping the last OG, the networks. I was on tour with Tracy Morgan. Like we had a 2-week break, and that was when my leg got infected and I was in the hospital. I wrote a lot of jokes then, but yeah, it was crazy. It was really crazy. Like I was like, yo, I do not want a roommate. I don't know what. Like y'all gonna put some sick guy next to me and he's gonna die, and I gotta live with that the rest of my life. That somebody died next to me. And that was cool for about 24 hours. Then they put some dude next to me. They was like, all right, this dude ain't gonna die. It was one of those like drug addicts that come to the hospital like every other day. He was hilarious.
For Staten Island South.
This was Staten Island Hospital North, I'm gonna say.
Okay, so yeah, Staten Island. Okay,
South
so
is like the new one, right?
South is the newer one where it's like a little bit more money's put into it.
Yeah, no, I ain't go there. I should have.
Staten Island North. I've been to Staten Island North. No, you are better off taking your shot in the woods for some of that medical attention. So Wellie quite possibly could have just been able to go in and out because they don't keep.
That's
track
what I did. I walked out the front door.
This is what I need.
That hospital is blind.
They didn't care. The last time I went to the hospital, I didn't even end up in a room. I spent 48 hours in the hospital in a hallway. On a
that's
gurney.
what I was, in the emergency room in the hallway.
I was in a hallway on a gurney, and there was a crazy lady that kept getting out of her bed and screaming at everybody.
Me too.
So the next time I have to go to the hospital, I'm bringing you with me, and you can just tell everybody the way it's going to be.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it. I had a towel on my head.
No one pays attention to me.
Nobody knew who I was except for the two nurses I went to high school with. They was like, oh, that's you.
I'm just going to call you. I'm going to call you, and I'm going to call my dad and be like, I go to the hospital. I'm going to call Wellie. And my dad will be like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm just going to call you, and I'm like, can you meet me at the hospital and tell them how it is?
There with a list of demands.
I appreciate it.
They will all be met. I wasn't complaining that I was in the hallway because I was in the hallway. That's the emergency room hallway. Because it was packed, but I was by the outlet.
Oh, that's nice.
My phone wasn't dying. I had unlimited music, unlimited text, unlimited Instagram. I was good.
I was in a busy hallway, though, so like there were people going by constantly. Like, I couldn't even rest.
Me too. That's why I got to put the towel over your head.
That's smart. I didn't have a towel.
You're invisible then.
You were a celebrity. Then you could be like, I'm the host of Poppin Off. You got
Poppin Off didn't even exist when I was in the last time I was in the hospital. But this is why I'm gonna next time, like I said, my second call is gonna be to Wellie. First call is to my dad. Hey dad, I'm going to the hospital. Second call is Wellie. Wellie, can you meet me at this hospital? I need you to tell him how it is.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
That's how it's going.
You gotta.
I got your number. That's how it's going.
The first doctor's question is, why did they bring in a large black man for that tiny guy? What's going on? The second question, he says he's been popping off. Let him die. Like,
I'll just be going, do you know who I am? I scream into a microphone twice a week.
And then Wellie's going to look at the door and be like, yo, you didn't see me. I just did my laundry and I just left too. I'm going to go. I have no idea who this dude is that says he's on Pop.
Nah, I ain't going to leave you hanging, Danny. We going to do it for real.
I appreciate it.
Just got to tell him how it's going to go.
Yeah, he'll help me out.
That's it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back on Thursday at 8 p.m. with Wellie again.
I'm going to be here.
He's going to be right here.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody.